Richard Widmark, renowned for his intense and multifaceted performances during the golden age of film noir, left an unforgettable legacy in American cinema.
You're sitting on a hot rock, ain't you? I like to see you jump.
His breakout role came in 1947 when he stunned audiences with his chilling portrayal of Tommy Udo in Kiss of Death.
You know what I do to Squeeze? I let him have it in the belly.
That sinister performance not only defined his career early on, but also earned him an Academy Award nomination. But did you know there were 3 other iconic roles he nearly took on? Or that, before he passed, Widmark shared some revealing thoughts on his journey through Hollywood.
Seeing what the Apaches did to your mother and your sis. If this don't work, don't let it happen to the girls.
If you're intrigued, stay with us to uncover more about this fascinating actor's life and career. Born on December 26, 1914, in the serene town of Sunrise Township, Minnesota, Richard was the eldest son of Carl Henry Widmark and Ethel May. His father was a businessman active in education and sales, while his mother, Ethel, worked as an illustrator, fostering an appreciation for creativity in the home. Growing up in a supportive and close-knit family, Richard learned the value of discipline, artistic expression, and perseverance, qualities that would define his future in show business. Though not born into wealth, the Widmarks emphasized learning and personal growth. These core family values encouraged Richard to pursue his dreams. When his younger brother Donald arrived, Richard took on the role of a devoted older sibling, and the family bond grew even stronger. As a teenager, Widmark discovered a passion for acting, which guided his academic pursuits. After graduating from high school, he attended Lake Forest College in Illinois. There, he immersed himself in theater, performing in numerous stage productions, and studying speech and dramatic arts. By the time he graduated in 1936, he was well on his way to an acting career, having built a solid foundation in both theory and performance. Widmark didn't leap straight into film. Instead, he spent years working in theater and radio, sharpening his craft. Radio, in particular, was a major platform in the 1940s, and Widmark made a name for himself through a wide range of radio dramas, mysteries, and comedies. During World War II, he served stateside at an Army radio station, helping to produce programs that lifted soldiers' spirits and kept them informed. Though he didn't see combat, his contribution through storytelling and morale-boosting broadcasts was deeply meaningful. His big break came in 1947 with Kiss of Death. His depiction of a sadistic gangster not only earned him critical acclaim, but also solidified his place in Hollywood. This role set the tone for many of his future characters, men who were emotionally complex, morally ambiguous, and psychologically deep. Widmark's versatility shone across multiple genres, from noir thrillers to westerns and war dramas. In 1961, he delivered a standout performance in Judgment at Nuremberg, adding weight and intensity to the historical drama. A few years earlier, he appeared in Yellow Sky, 1948, as the hot-headed outlaw Dude, and in Warlock, 1959, he played a reformed gunslinger-turned-sheriff Johnny Gannon, a role that perfectly illustrated his ability to balance heroism and inner turmoil. One of his most celebrated collaborations was with director Samuel Fuller in Pickup on South Street, 1953. As Skip McCoy, a slick pickpocket caught in a web of Cold War espionage, Widmark delivered one of his most layered performances. The film, now a noir classic, was praised for its tension and nuance, much of which stemmed from Widmark's commanding presence. Beyond acting, Widmark harbored a love for photography and literature. These interests not only enriched his personal life, but also informed his artistic approach. In 1961, he stepped behind the camera for the first time, directing The Secret Ways. This directorial debut allowed him to merge his literary and visual sensibilities, offering a new lens through which to express his creativity. His eye for photography sharpened his understanding of composition and lighting, skills that translated well into directing. Through filmmaking, he was able to shape stories with greater personal depth and vision, expanding his role from performer to storyteller. Before making it big in films, Widmark also spent time on Broadway, honing his skills in live theater. His early stage work was instrumental in developing his range and presence. Performing in front of live audiences taught him to adapt quickly and authentically, a skill that enriched his later film roles. While his Broadway credits aren't as widely remembered, they played a significant role in shaping the disciplined, expressive actor he became. Richard Widmark's portrayals left a deep impression on both audiences and the film industry. His characters, often torn between morality and darkness, pushed boundaries and redefined what it meant to play a villain or a conflicted hero. His portrayal of Tommy Udo, with that infamous cackle and chilling cruelty, set a new benchmark for screen antagonists. That performance, and many that followed, expanded the psychological scope of American cinema. In the end, Widmark wasn't just a film star. He was a pioneer who brought complexity and realism to the roles he played. He helped usher in a new era of cinematic storytelling where the lines between good and evil blurred, and where every character, no matter how dark, had depth. Through his roles, Richard Widmark consistently challenged audiences to grapple with powerful themes like morality, guilt, and redemption. He brought a raw, emotional authenticity to the screen that elevated the viewer's experience and deepened the storytelling. His method, rooted in subtlety and emotional intensity, set a standard for actors who came after him. Widmark proved that portraying a complex or morally ambiguous character could be just as captivating, if not more so, than playing a traditional hero. His performances inspired generations of actors to take on riskier roles and to explore the emotional depth of their characters. His legacy isn't just in the films he made, but in the way he redefined how characters could be portrayed, layered, human, and real. Although Widmark never took home an Oscar, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his unforgettable debut in Kiss of Death. That early recognition was a strong sign of the impact he would have on cinema. Over the years, he earned several other honors that celebrated his remarkable contributions to the craft of acting. In 1957, Widmark won the Silver Bear for Best Actor at the Berlin International Film Festival for his role in St. Joan. Later, in 1990, he was recognized with the Cecil B. DeMille Award by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, an honor reserved for those who have made outstanding contributions to the world of entertainment. Widmark also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a timeless tribute to his influence on the film industry. Unveiled in January 1960 at 6800 Hollywood Boulevard, the star serves as a symbol of his enduring legacy. The Walk of Fame represents not just success, but the deep respect and appreciation of both the industry and the public. Still, his influence went far beyond statues and ceremonies. Richard Widmark was a trailblazer, an actor unafraid to explore the darker sides of human nature, shaping the way stories were told and characters brought to life. In his personal life, Widmark shared a long and steady marriage with screenwriter Jean Hazelwood. They wed in 1942 and remained together until her passing in 1997, a rare and lasting Hollywood love story. Jean wasn't just his partner in life, but a creative force in her own right. Her screenwriting background likely provided inspiration and support throughout Widmark's film career. Together, they raised a daughter, Anne Heath Widmark, who chose a creative path as well, becoming both a painter and an author. Jean's presence and influence clearly helped shape Anne's artistic pursuits, nurturing a strong sense of expression and individuality. One of the most difficult periods of Widmark's life came as Jean battled illness. Her suffering was a heavy emotional burden, and Widmark stood by her through it all. His devotion during those trying times spoke volumes about the strength of their bond. Despite the demands of fame and his career, his commitment to family remained unwavering. Their marriage, along with his role as a father, brought a sense of grounding and stability to his life, something not often found in the entertainment world. After Gene's passing, Widmark found companionship again, marrying Susan Blanchard in 1999. Susan was well known in both social and entertainment circles, previously married to Henry Fonda and the stepdaughter of musical legend Oscar Hammerstein. This new chapter brought renewed happiness and support to Widmark's later years. But Widmark's life extended far beyond film sets and awards ceremonies. He was deeply engaged with the world around him and quietly passionate about social issues. While he wasn't an outspoken activist in the public eye, he held strong views and supported causes that mattered to him, especially civil rights. During the height of the civil rights movement in the 1960s and 70s, he stood against racism and lent his support to the fight for equality. He also spoke out in favor of gun control and advocated for Native American rights. His activism may not have made headlines, but it reflected a strong moral compass and a genuine desire to make a difference. Widmark also gave generously to philanthropic efforts, focusing especially on health care and education. He and Gene supported Southwest Harbor Hospital in Maine, helping improve medical services for the local community. In addition, he was a firm believer in the power of education and often encouraged young people to pursue academic goals, understanding that education could transform lives. In his later years, Widmark stepped away from Hollywood's spotlight and chose a quieter, more reflective lifestyle in Roxbury, Connecticut. By 1991, he had made his final film appearance, and from then on, he focused on personal pursuits and the tranquility of home life. He spent time immersed in nature and enjoyed the peaceful surroundings that Connecticut offered. His marriage to Susan brought him joy and comfort during this period, and he embraced a life of privacy and calm after decades of public attention. Even though he had retired from acting, the industry never forgot him. His work continued to be celebrated, and his influence on film remained strong. Richard Widmark passed away on March 24, 2008, at the age of 93, in the serenity of his Roxbury home. His death marked the end of a chapter in cinematic history. Tributes poured in from fans, colleagues, and film historians alike, honoring the legacy he left behind. He wasn't just a movie star. He was a cinematic force who reshaped what it meant to be a screen legend. His impact still resonates today, inspiring actors and film lovers across the globe.